I didn't even see it print. I know one of the kitchen's supposed to be telling me it's up.
You might have to set it somewhere or get a signal.
Yeah.
Buildings kind of kill
Usually you have to
signal.
stick it in the window.
By the window.
Usually there's this kind of.
I think it's pretty accurate. I'm talking about the one in our office. Oh. All right. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Stand for the invocation. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion and allow us to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of this community. Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Davis.
Here.
Forth. Here. Miller. Here. Brower.
Yo.
Zelinski. Here.
Go ahead and open public comment at 6:01.
Shall we talk now or at the end?
Your call.
Do you want me to stand up or just?
It's good.
Do you have any problem with me and my property? My name's Tim Lynch.
So when?
L-I-N-P.
Oh,
Kind of like complaint.
so down off of Benden.
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 That would be a zoning question. I haven't dealt with it.
Does the board have to vote on that?
No.
All right.
As of light off. Only if we were to try to take anything to court or something like that, we would have to vote, but.
Well, here's where I stand. This isn't like my first rodeo with this kind of thing. Paul Becraft's property has been a huge blight for the last 20 years. It is a huge problem. My property was blighted by the township 5 years ago. They didn't properly clean it up. I've been working on it 2 years. And actually the guy across the street and over from me has been working on that property 2 years. That was another one the township was. And so now somebody's complaining about me. I'm not exactly sure if it's Paul or not, or one of his relatives. But it's just a charade, it's a sham. Because I've been working on the property, cleaning it up. We've had some lumber out there to do repairs on the property. The floor seems to be fixed, interior things. And I don't wanna have to deal with this anymore. I don't wanna have to deal with the zoning guy, blight people, or whatever. I'm pretty much done at this point. And I need something from the board tonight so that I can continue on with my life and continue on working on the property without hanging over my head.
Okay. I'll have to look into it. I mean, this is the first it's come across me. I don't know. Not sure the whole issue, but I will look into it. And
The last time I got with your lawyer, we met over at the county court. I showed him the pictures of my property. I said, just drive down Benden Road. He couldn't get out from under it fast enough. And that's where we're at today.
Okay.
You have to clean up the whole township, or leave me alone, because I'm done.
I will look into this and I will get back to you by the end of the week.
You want my phone number?
Yeah, if you,
All the spammers have it, so everybody can have it.
all right.
It's 231-883-6367. But I don't know your phone number unless it's a township number or something, so.
Yeah, it's
I
on the
might want to
website with
send
my
me a
card.
text or something.
Okay.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't answer phone.
Okay. But yeah, I'll reach out to you. I'll get some kind of answer for you by the end of the week.
Perfect.
This is the first I've heard of it, so I can't make a motion on something I
I
don't know.
don't
yet.
know.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Any other public comment?
Are you going to vote on the Headley Amendment stuff tonight?
Planning on it, yes.
Okay. My opinion on that is I'd prefer that the county not put all the funds in one big bucket to disperse. When I look at my taxes, I'm an animal lover and I'm pretty appalled that more of my taxes is going to animal control than the veterans. So I'd like to be able to vote independently on each individual issue instead of just throwing it into one big bucket and let them decide how to spend it. That's my opinion.
Any other public comment? All right, I'll close public comments. 6:05. All right, no,
Just need to approve the agenda.
right, you had something you wanted to add though, right?
I was gonna suggest we add an, excuse me, an ad hoc committee to, review websites with the potential of our making some changes.
Okay. Add that underneath it.
Number 5 is
Number 5.
Yep. And then, yeah, never mind, I'll handle that under board member reports. Okay.
Okay. Board of review,
Yeah.
training. Or we can do it next month, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll do it next month. Just do a board review tomorrow, so I can find out from anybody that actually wanna go.
Move to approve the meeting agenda with the addition.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Agenda is approved. Consent agenda.
I'll let her finish writing there. Move to approve the consent agenda minus the minutes from November 13th, November 30th, and the financial reports.
I'll second.
You need to add the unpaid bills to that.
We can-
Well, they're listed here as unpaid bills, so.
Oh, okay, under you.
Yeah.
I'm working on the older copy.
This is, oh, yeah. We'll just have to, I don't know,
Okay,
we can do a motion after that, but she wants to, or however you want to.
well,
Yeah, so we should vote.
we need to,
Ours doesn't say any unpaid bills.
yeah, no. Need to,
Right, we have a motion for,
right, I'm gonna need
and
to
then, thank you.
propose an amendment that we add unpaid bills 15177 through 15193 for $5,986.30.
I'll second that.
Now we vote on the amendment. Add that. No phone ready?
Brower,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski. Yes. Worth, yes, Davis.
Yes. Amendment carries. Now on the consent agenda minus financial reports and minutes.
Okay, Brower,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski. Yes. Worth, yes, Davis.
Yes. Motion carries.
On the November 13th minutes, there's just a typo down at the bottom of the page. Motion to approve the use of Inland Township Office and Fire Department as early voting site by Worth, seconded by Davis, not the app that's there.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to do the minutes together and then vote to accept the change, or
We usually do the minutes together and
Right.
then
then,
whatever else you have to add to it. That's
Yeah.
fine.
okay,
Do it all together.
on November 30th, we need to add under the purpose of the meeting, that was for candidate, what do we call it?
Call the
Interview? Thank you,
Yeah.
candidate interviews. And if you go underneath number 1, the 4th line, moved by Miller, and then it says for duration of Sherry, but Sherry is misspelled, so we need to change the name. And then, from the bottom right above public comment, roll call, yes votes, my name is misspelled, just add now.
All right, Myla.
Yeah. So with those corrections, I move that we accept the minutes from November 13th and November 20th with the corrections. Pardon?
30th.
30th, what did I say, 20th? 30th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, financial reports?
Yeah, I have a question on the financial reports. Everything balanced out between the clerk and the treasurer, but when I got to the balance sheet on the general fund, it's off by $5.12, and I don't know where the error is.
I don't either, because I found it odd. Teresa printed hers off, I printed mine off, and right after that I printed this off, and how $5.12 came up missing from there, I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I don't know either.
It's on the front page,
Yeah,
Teresa,
yeah,
677, 629, 57,
and yet on here, both you guys agree with the general.
and our papers agree, but they're $5.12 off.
Yeah.
From the balance sheet.
Right.
Both came from DSNA, right?
And I looked through them, Mary looked through them, and so
Yeah, the
there's,
rest of them are all
there's
correct.
something a little smaller in there, and all I could think of was interest, but
Interest is never even that small. Interest is usually at least $13
Yeah.
on there. Although it could have been possible because we did move that. No,
But
it can't be,
I
because
don't-
it's posted, because I just looked at it.
yeah,
Interest is posted.
because after you printed this, I printed mine, and so it should have changed in 4 minutes.
I don't think I made any
I
adjustments.
don't think you did either, and I didn't either, but, so that's something that, yeah.
I have to look at that. So both of these agree.
Yes,
What page are you looking at for the balance sheet that doesn't,
The first page.
For
the-
677,
General fund.
629, 56?
Yeah, and the clerk and the treasurers both say 677, 634, 68, so it's off by $5.12.
Oh, I see it. Thank you.
Say that the 512, isn't that a postage amount? For a special letter? So that's why I'm
I could have made one in 4 minutes.
But 512 sounds familiar for some reason, like a postage amount. That would be weird, but
And
it's
so-
possible.
I'll look through that tomorrow.
I came just in to print this,
I
right? When
know.
I left, right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so
And then right after you did that,
you did
I
that.
did this,
Yeah,
they matched.
yeah,
4 minutes later, I mean, it's clocked.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
When they print it.
it was weird. So something in the system is crazy.
Something happened between then and.
You get bank fees, like credit card charges?
Well, it shouldn't have come on.
But it wouldn't come out of BSNA like that.
Therese has to enter that,
Posted it.
Oh.
so, you know,
Well, bank fees we pass on to, the only ones we get are, I mean, like credit card fees, they're the only for taxes, but people pay them directly when you pay with a credit card.
Oh, okay, they're all.
So it shouldn't be anything in here.
So, yeah, I'll start looking into that tomorrow, a little closer with the numbers.
Thank you. That's all I have. That's weird.
Good.
Yeah,
I have a question, and even though the budget adjustments and amendments are part of the consent, and part of this is maybe Therese, I just need to come in for some, schooling. And just to understand more fully what all these numbers mean and where they come from. But do we regularly make budget adjustments? Stealing, well, borrowing from one account to pay off another, or how are these adjustments?
Our adjustments are right here,
Mhm.
and these are all, like, middle number,
We don't make it.
middle number here,
Mhm.
okay? This is the treasurer's account. This is the clerk's account. 214 is zoning account, and then this is, our general fund account.
Mhm.
So we're not stealing money from anywhere, we're taking what was shorted, because sometimes we don't budget perfectly every year.
Mhm.
So we had to put money into these two, but we took it out of the treasurer's account
Okay.
from her miscellaneous to make these numbers here come up right,
Okay.
so that there's not a negative balance. That's the same here, as it was taken out of the clerk's transportation and miscellaneous, and just, it's moved within each account.
Mhm.
The budget amendments are different. And I don't quite understand it, but it works when you do this, because this is the way that we were taught, is when we didn't budget for the new sign. We
Mhm.
didn't,
Right.
that, so we ended up being $20,000 short
Right.
in our capital outlay for our building. Okay? So we need to balance that and bring that up,
Mhm.
so we don't have a negative balance.
Right.
And we take that's an expenditure. This, we have to take from a revenue account, we have to take $20,000 from the revenue and add it to that. That's the only time we take from anywhere other than what's on our expenditure sheet.
Okay. I'm just trying to come up to speed. My only other, well, deeper experience with accounting in public offices was dealing with the airport authority, and we had the good fortune of having Linda as the treasurer for both the airport authority, and she actually was treasurer for the county at the time. And just the whole budget adjustment, this strikes me as a little bit different than what she said, and it might be the difference between the airport authority and a township. So I just need to get up to speed on how it's being done and why it's being done.
But you can come in next Monday,
Okay?
and I will do these adjustments next Monday and show you where and why
Okay,
and how it's being done.
good. Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we file the financial reports.
What do you say,
File,
Technically, you don't approve them, you just file them.
file the financial reports.
I'll let you know on that in another meeting. You file financial reports and treasurer reports. You approve minutes.
Okay.
But it was part of the consent agenda.
Yeah, so we'll second, we have to roll call these. Doug Brower,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski,
Yes.
Worth, yes, Davis.
Yes.
If I call you Phyllis, sometimes it's
No, it's okay.
because I haven't changed. Updated these yet.
All right, on Commissioner, we have a report from Art. Do you have anything to add on top of that?
Yes, I haven't seen Art, so if I duplicate it, I'm sorry. Let's see. The county has a new IT company that's starting to take over our computer stuff. It's, I don't know how to pronounce it, Carhu Cyber. But hopefully they'll do a better job than our last vendor who got bought out by somebody else. So that's kind of why their services went down. And along that note as well, the county emails have switched. It used to be benzicode.net. Now everything is going to be .gov. Yeah, effective today. It was up until today, you could use either and they would work. But now, if you send an email to anybody in the county that gets kicked back, double check that, make sure it's to .gov. Sheriff's Department has purchased a new K9.
Oh, cool.
3 new patrol cars they've purchased. And then they've hired 3 new officers, 1 for correction and 2 bailiffs for the court system. So I think they have enough manpower with the bailiffs at the court that they're gonna be able to start 24-hour road patrol soon, but the problem is going to be the same with every police department now around, can't find people. So when they can find qualified applicants and get that started, hopefully we'll be at 24-hour road patrol soon. We've accepted a $400,000 grant to assist with the paving of the Betsy Valley Trail.
Is that repaving it or
What's that, paving?
repaving?
No, just paving.
Oh, it's on.
Doug Duran gave us a written report from Senior Resources, but they were able to come up with 6 snow removal contractors for this year. So hopefully they don't need them and it doesn't snow, that would be great. But if you know any seniors that need it, you can contact Senior Resources. Right now they have 100 customers. And tomorrow's meeting is our last of the year, but there'll be, if you're interested in learning, there's gonna be a broadband update. The guy from, who's heading that up for us is giving an update tomorrow at our meeting. So if you want the up-to-date information on all the broadband information, tune into our YouTube channel tomorrow.
Is it a regular 9 o'clock meeting?
Yes.
Isn't there another one tomorrow too?
Yeah, in the afternoon, the committee meeting. And then last but not least, on 12/20 at 1 o'clock at the Government Center, Santa Claus will be there for anybody that wants to bring their kids or their grandkids down. They're having Santa there for the community to bring anybody down that, you know, for the children. So that is all.
When is that Santa thing?
The 20th at 1 o'clock.
That's a Wednesday?
Yes,
So you're gonna have 8 reindeer?
that I don't know.
Last month we did 21 calls. We had 3 fires, 2 were structure fires, 1 was assisted Green Lake, 1 was ours on Benden Road, and then we had a car fire in the trailer park that was a little close to, in between the 2 trailers, and did some damage to each trailer from that. Did 13 EMS calls. Out of those EMS calls, 1 was an accident with injuries, another one was an assist to Long Lake that we got canceled on. We're gonna release, we talked to the homeowner reference to the fire on Benden Road. He was kinda wondering when we were gonna release the property back to him because he wants to move forward, either clean it up and sell it, the land, or to rebuild on it, but he wants to move forward. We had a couple extra things to do and it got warm this weekend, so we got to walk around the property and look at some stuff, and so we'll probably be releasing the property back to them this week, report early next week. I did receive one application, but, the background check did not come back very clean, so I can't hire him. And then, last week's been a rough week for our firefighters. Yesterday, we reached out to the Michigan Northwest Peer Support Team and had a critical incident stress debriefing with some of them, because we had a rough call, last week. Derek and I are watching over a couple of our individuals to make sure that they're doing okay, and if they need any more continuing help, that we'll get it to them. Because it's our responsibility, it's my responsibility, it's the fire department's responsibility to help with that. It's just part of the nature, and it's just been a rough week, very rough. We've had 4 fatals in the last week, so 4 people have passed away, so it's, yeah. So there's that. On your thing, I handed out, we got a letter from Richland Township from the grain fire, the grain silo bin, the 3 million bushels of corn that we did a mutual aid with. It was through Mavis, the Michigan Mutual Aid. Our tanker, Elmwood tanker, and some personnel went over. We got that letter, and then they also had a challenge coin made up for all the people, and it's 2-sided, and they put it in a case to give to us. So it was really nice to see, that guy. We saw him at the conference over the weekend, last weekend at the Park Place Center. He had tons of stuff given to all the fire departments around that were there, to the people. I did not receive a quote back from the tire company, but I need to purchase some tires for the pickup truck that has better traction in the snow and the ice. The ones that were on the Suburban were I think we approved up to $2,000. $2,000 will cover that. They didn't get it back to me because they got to go through the My Deal, because we get a better deal through the My Deal, and they weren't able to get a hold of the company today through My Deal, get a hold of the state. They didn't call back, but it'll be under $2,000. So I'd like the board to approve that so I can get those ordered before our lovely snow starts to come here shortly.
That's the worst that could happen. Slide down a hill.
Slide down a hill.
It has happened, hasn't it?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, we approve $2,000 for new tires for the fire truck, the fire pickup truck.
Second.
Change the name. Brown,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski.
Yes.
Worth, yes, Davis.
Yes.
Motion carries.
With that, like what they were mentioning, on one of our calls, we were at the end of Stanley Road down the 2 track, and I was coming back up the hill, and the truck didn't make it up the hill, and it slid back down, and it rubbed against a tree. So, we have some damage to that truck. So we got the estimate, contacted the insurance company, they've approved it, and I contacted Honor Collision today to go ahead and start ordering the parts for it. So they're waiting for the estimate, or the estimate of the time for the parts, because GM parts, the strike, the truck's drivable, it's kind of cosmetic is all, because there's a couple dents and scratches within the vinyl lettering and stuff. So, but other than that, we can still use it and last out.
A little buffing compound.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be, and the door handle, the colored portion of the door handle come off, and I can't blame anybody except for me because I was the one driving it. So, other than that, that's about it.
Correct?
snow-related things, since we're talking about snow, which we may or may not get this year, but if we do get snow, I would like to know if we have any arrangement or can make any arrangement to have the entrance road to the parking area at the park, at the railroad park, plowed, if we get a reasonable amount of snow. Because it doesn't look like the road commission is gonna do anything.
Lamb Road,
Lamb Road.
Lamb
Well,
Road,
not, yeah, Lamb Road up to the entrance and then
and then the
into
entrance.
the parking area.
Okay, 'cause the entrance will have to be on us to find somebody to do it. but
Right, that's what I'm
Lamb-
asking.
but They're not gonna do it, are they?
No, seasonal road, they won't touch it.
Okay,
But can we get somebody to plow the park part? It's our responsibility?
But they're not gonna plow the road to the park.
we'd have to get somebody to plow the
Yeah.
road too.
Yeah, you
It's
have
like a
to,
private drive, it's not a,
Are there
houses seasonal on it? road.
There's houses on.
Not at the, on the other side, yeah.
the road commission plows up to.
No, it stops.
Oh, they plow up to that first little entrance we have to the park, and they turn around there. So, part of the way up Land Road to the main entrance is plowed by the road commission. But
But going down the hill to the
Yeah.
main entrance isn't plowed.
Will people be using it over there?
we hope so.
snowshoeing.
Snowshoeing. I already have some people, some interest in snowshoeing and cross-country skiing.
Well, we can get quotes together and then it,
Can't they just park at that one top
They
parking
can-
area
they
and
can park
snowshoe in?
Well, they can park at the little first entrance,
Yeah.
they can park there and go in from there, that's true. Yeah. It'd be nice to be able to pull in to access the other trail, but,
it's not gonna hurt to see what it costs.
No.
So I'll get quotes
I'm
together,
just wondering if we could just,
tell Bob to call
if
me.
we could, if we could get some quotes or some estimates, that would be helpful. The other thing is, we've got the trails marked, the perimeter trail didn't get finished, but it's marked. But it's been marked with orange tape, the little stuff that you put on trees. I don't think that tape's gonna last very long, so I would like very much to be able to put some, official, markers on some of the trees, going along the trail, so if you, like you do in parks, so you know which way to turn, and things like that, because I think that temporary markings aren't gonna last so long. So I've been looking at things like that, and you can get, it didn't print the way it was supposed to, but this kind of little, sign, they're aluminum, and this is from, forestry suppliers, and they tell you, what could hurt trees and what couldn't hurt trees. So they're saying, get aluminum and get aluminum nails. They already got little holes, you can put them up in the tree, and they come in different colors. So we could color code our trails, which we sort of have done already. So to get 100 of them, 25 of each of 4 colors, it's $198.95. So I just want to, put that out there as a possibility.
Do those trail markers have arrows too with that?
No, we have arrows at the entrances to the different trails. We have the signs that say this is the hiking trail here. This just keeps you on the trail.
Okay.
Now, some people use the paint thing, this paint stripes on the park. They don't, it doesn't last as long as these do. These would last for quite a while. So I'm just wondering, I can, I've looked at a bunch of different ones, and that's the one I like the best, but I could get other quotes for other kinds, but that's the one that kind of does what I think we need to do. So I just wanted to leave it with you if you want to think about it, if you want to keep searching for other possibilities, I can. I don't have anything to do with it.
Do they sell them in a smaller quantity?
You can buy them individually. They're like $2 and some cents for each one.
That trail going around, there's probably more.
We're in the
The
process,
big one you're talking about?
yeah, well, we're in the process of measuring the trails. I bought one of those little wheelie things, that I bought it for myself with the thought that I would use it for the park as well. And then some people have phones, there's funny phones with apps on them that do things, that measure your steps and all that stuff. So my son measured one little piece of it. But, we want to be able to tell people how far everything is. So I bought one of those things. If the township wants to buy it from me, you can own it. Otherwise, it will stay at my house and I'll own it. I don't really care. But we are going to try to get out and mark the length of the trails and then finish the signs that are in the little boxes. You know, that we put temporary draft map of the trails on there. We want to finish them with actual real information about the distances, and we want to put up some more permanent markers along the trails so people don't get lost. And that's about where we are. And then, then it snowed, and then people got busy, and that was the end of that for the year. But we are going to go out and snowshoe if we get snow and walk the trail. So and then some of us got so we couldn't walk very well recently. We had to put a halt to some of that stuff, and we're all physically challenged. But you can see, if you go to the website, you can see what they look like in color.
Yeah, I just, cause they come, you get a pack of 4 different colors.
Yeah.
Marking 2 trails.
Well, we're not, it's really, it's two trails, but it's really not. It's really like, there's a forest trail, there's a meadow trail, there's, then there's the kind of 2 sections to the perimeter trail.
Okay.
So we'll be able to use 4 different colors. And then we also, in the future, we're going to do some side trails down to the Vernal Creek, which we haven't done. We've got one of them in, but the rest are not done. So we can use a different color for that.
That's good.
That's cool.
Were they all about the same price?
Well, that's the only one that had that particular thing.
Oh, okay.
There's others that are different. And, I can keep looking for different kinds of trail markers. That was the one that was the most useful to me.
Oh,
So those come with nails too?
I
Yeah.
think they do. They come with the nails, and they're aluminum nails too, so they don't hurt the tree. And you leave the nail out of them. You only put, you leave for the tree to grow.
Yeah. So they come out of the,
come out of parts.
park there. Well, I think it'd be awfully nice to have those up for people that do things this winter.
You take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if we really get snow, which may happen,
Mm-hmm.
you have those little flags on the ground too, marking the trail, and then we put tape around some of the trees, but it's really temporary.
Was there shipping on this, or?
I think it's free shipping.
I'll just have to do, I have to go, I don't know when I get them, but cause I have to do a tax exempt form, send it to them.
You wanna order them?
They'll,
Or you want me to?
well, if I do the tax exempt, we don't have to tax.
Okay.
I mean, it's
So
only,
you get to do it.
it's only $12, but,
Yeah.
still,
I
that's,
know.
so if this is where the board wants to go, that's what I would do, and contact them and get their tax exempt form.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, spend up to $200 on trail light markers.
I'll second.
You have money in here for this, or is it a negative?
That's not the expenditure report.
That's good. Cash summary report. There's money in yesterday's class, so it's not in the
Yeah, you just have, wait, what number are you?
208, and Your,
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's, cause it's all in Michigan class, but no,
so we're
there is,
gonna have to cover that,
there
right?
is funding on the expenditure report.
What?
Which I didn't put in anything. I got it and I didn't do it.
Either way, we just have to pull $200 out of Michigan class, that was it. That's
Well,
all
no,
they had.
it says 18,000 negative. So you take all of it out of there, or 18,000.
There's not a negative balance in it. Not in the file.
So
That's what this report says.
Yeah,
I know it, but
You guys agreed on.
yeah.
And the general checking also is negative.
it wasn't, it didn't show on the expenditure report as a negative balance.
Well, that's because it adds all the Michigan class in there as well. So when you take all those totals together, it's 11,000.
You know, I don't have that to look at.
Hey, you
But this, but not,
Oh, okay.
not when I do my expenditure papers.
So how is it negative in the checking?
$766,000.
Expenditure report.
It's not really negative, it just looks that way because of the money that's sitting there in the cash sweep account.
Oh,
Yeah.
because it's in the.
Because you gotta add those two together to get the true balance, because of the way that the auditor said we should set up that account. I know it's,
Oh,
so that account's fine. So I know it doesn't make sense, that's why I wanted to do it the other way, but.
Yeah.
You don't
It's
have like a
complicated.
a checking account for that account, so if you wrote a check, it would bounce, right? You don't have a separate checking
For the
account for
purpose.
each one,
No,
you just have, okay.
This is why I need an education.
Well, I'll get you the expenditure report because it shows different than what's on there, but, which is what I use when I pay bills.
So does this mean you have the money to do this?
yes.
we have the money, we just may have to move money.
Okay, thank you.
Who seconded that?
I did.
Okay. From park fund, right? How much
I would
is
like
that
to
on
say, just to say that the work so far on this park has been done by a little tiny group of volunteers, and we've tried really hard not to cost them very much money. We don't spend much. We use our own stuff, sometimes we just use our own stuff and contribute things that we have at home, rather than buy new stuff, so we're trying to be frugal.
Brower,
Yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Linsky,
Yes,
Ford, yes, Davis.
Yes. Motion carries.
Just a question to tag on to that, if we're going to have plowing to the Lamb Road, do we do anything with Lake Ann Park?
The entrance.
Just the entrance for people to park in there? I didn't remember if we did that last year or not. I kind of thought we didn't,
Yeah.
but maybe we
They
did.
do it kind of like as needed. They don't do it every time it snows.
Right, okay.
I did see that, say the crash show to follow the full walkway, but I don't think that's a good idea, because
No,
there's always slips,
Yeah.
you know.
And if I find somebody that's there, traffic
Right.
will do it, yeah.
we are gonna have to plow a portion of that anyway when they do the trees, if we get a lot of snow.
I could see somebody taking a motorized vehicle and trying to go through there if they actually plowed that out.
All right,
Are we allowed to use our own snowballs in the park? It never gets out of the shop, I was just wondering.
Yeah.
all right, fire association?
Well, Halloween, it snowed for Halloween.
It's kind of like a rain smell.
There's the, the Christmas party for the fire department. We haven't got a date or anything yet, we're checking on it, but we're having it at Boone's again. And this is to be for the fire department, fire association board members. So, and then chili cook-off is February 10th, 2024.
From noon to 3 or
What
something.
do we do it noon or 11? Can't remember what time it started. We didn't talk about the time, we're gonna work that stuff up.
Yeah.
But, they've already started gathering some auction items for the silent auction. And then we're gonna discuss if we really want to, continue doing bottles as a fundraiser.
Because
You should come join us on when we sort the bottles. Then you'll find out why.
They're very dirty, so,
yeah,
It's,
people throw their garbage in
we're not talking,
there.
yeah,
Needles, other things.
yeah, and baby diapers and,
From Turtle Lake?
and doggy, dookie bags and, yeah. So, we'll be discussing that this month.
Alright. Planning commission?
we met on November 20th, we had a public hearing on Joe Janice's private campground, and we basically approved that with some conditions to come back to us. We did discuss a little bit as to who we wanted for helping us with all the reviews of master plan and whatnot. And we were kind of thinking that we wanted to do someone new just to get new eyes on the situation, but that's kind of what we were gonna bring to the board.
Yeah, we got two quotes, one was real detailed and one was super vague, and so,
And one was quite a bit higher than the other,
yeah,
quite a bit.
quite a bit.
The private campground, the one across the street.
Yeah.
Okay, there's no one.
And there's no meeting for December.
Or you have anything to add, or? you good?
Nope.
Zoning. Has this report from,
He gave me October and forgot to give me November, so,
okay.
yeah.
I don't think they planned everything, but that would be why. Board member reports. Start with the Grand Traverse Fire Department having their chili kickoff. If anybody would like to, information on that.
I think it's their second one.
They're just free food.
Free food, there is a silent auction,
And they do have asked for donations, so.
and they better advertise ours.
What is this?
Grand Traverse Fire Department.
Oh, okay.
Saturday, January 27th.
Oh, okay.
It's a couple weeks before ours.
They stopped by today and asked if
Where,
they'd share that, if we'd share
At their
that.
place,
Grand hosted at VFW Post. On Veterans Drive, 3400 Veterans Drive.
so we'll post that. They have some applications for anybody who wants to do chili.
It helps when you got 100 businesses that are willing to
Right.
Yeah.
in your area to.
He mostly wanted to share with your guys too, so.
We added the ad hoc committee.
Yeah, alright, yeah, the only other thing I have is getting ready to start the construction in the office over there to build the closet for all the election stuff. And then I'll be getting the quotes for the camera. And then tomorrow Jordan's coming, right?
Unless something happens.
Yeah. Our IT guy will be coming in, and I'm gonna get with him to see what it would cost to get the clerk and the treasurer laptops. Cause they get a lot of calls at home asking about, cemetery stuff or tax things. So I'm just gonna get that together, just so they have the ability to answer questions. And they still get the phone calls because everyone's got their cell phone, so.
And people get upset. Like I had somebody email me Friday morning and couldn't understand why I didn't answer them on Wednesday. And I can check I can't check my email at home, and I can't check the tax system currently from home.
No.
But I'd be more than happy to do those little things, you know, when I sit down in the evening. I will never give up my office hours, because I won't take taxes at home, but I would like to be able to answer those questions more timely, because people don't understand why we can't.
Make sure he needs a VPN. We need to
Yeah.
purchase a VPN license too. And then if you're gonna do that, can you get a quote for a VPN license for me too? I have a laptop from the trucks and stuff, but I just need a VPN.
You need Jordan to work on your computer too, don't you?
The computer, yeah, the one in the apparatus bay.
So I'll
Yeah.
send you a text and let you know he's here and he can call you.
Yeah.
You don't need to be here for it, right?
Yeah, I got part of the day off anyway, so I'll be up here tomorrow.
Like I said, I'm hoping he's coming.
For those of us that are not tech savvy, what is a VPN?
It's a virtual private network. It allows you to get into the computer here, not through the network,
Securely, so you can't, right, so.
to the server. Because she still can't, if she's sitting at home with her laptop, she can't still get to that information unless she can basically dial into the server to pull that information off of. So it's a secure network.
Okay.
So basically, you get to be your desktop at home on the laptop.
Okay. Makes a little more sense.
And the other option is that we're here 30 hours a week.
It's full time, yeah.
Can you guys talk up a little bit?
Oh,
My,
yeah.
my ear is plugged. I can't hear you.
I was asking
Sorry.
about the VPN, because I'm not.
Yeah, I got some of that, but the other whispering.
Oh,
Can
okay.
I raise a question?
Yeah.
How secure does the connection need to be?
Well, it needs, so I literally sign a paper with the state every year saying that my system is secure for
Okay.
taxes. So I have to have mine secure, so,
Yeah.
it really needs to be on a VPN to be secure.
So that's all of our
And then back, yeah,
Technically, not all virtual private networks are secure,
no, but you can get
okay?
more. When I talked to the computer guy a while ago, he said it's like 99.8% guaranteed to secure. You can't really ever get 100% because there's always going to be a computer genius kid, probably, who can break it. But
Hence my question, I mean, there are virtual private networks, you know, basically you're tapping into an internet within the internet that is secure, but it's only as secure as that particular company, and there are a whole bunch of them out there. And I didn't know if it had to be, you know, there are all sorts of security protocols you can go back and forth. So,
well, he said that our current server is really, that when I talked to him, which was about a year ago, he said that our system here is very secure, and that's the most secure way to do it, is for us to do it that way.
I will say we use InTown and Jordan as well for my work, and I do financials for my company, and it's millions of dollars, and when I work from home, I have that same exact setup, so, yeah.
You're looking into laptops for the clerk and the treasurer.
Treasurer.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get those kinds of questions. I need to get in the computer for stuff, so.
And those would be only used for this, right? You
Yes.
don't do any other,
Nope, I got a brand new
Social
desktop at home,
media,
which I
Right.
don't want to use to log in here.
There's a security gateway on back here too for that too, so.
Okay, so move on to old business. The Headley Amendment. So, as I talked about last month, the county is asking for us to, if we will pass a resolution, just supporting them to put together a committee to look into putting Headley on the ballot. So this would just be them gathering information, deciding whether they want to put it on the ballot or not, and then it would still come down to a vote in, is it August?
November.
November, they put it on, November. So,
do we get to be on the committee?
I don't know who gets
to volunteer, you know. I forget.
It's a large number of
Yeah.
mandated, it's mandated by law who has to serve on it.
Okay.
And I think there are slots for township officials, but I don't know
Yeah.
the exact number of which one, but I mean, there's many mandated slots on who has to be on it.
Yeah, I know.
I think she talked about
Yeah,
it.
Katie has the layout of the board, and I do know that there's township officials, county officials, general public, everybody together on that committee if they stand it up.
Is there a cost to the township to have the county and
No.
representatives doing this?
Yeah, and even if we pass this or not, if they get enough support from other townships, they'll still go forward with it. If we support it and nobody else does, other than, I know one township already passed it in the first report, but somebody did, but,
Crystal Lake.
Crystal Lake.
Is this just a way to say, hey, do you guys approve of us doing this? Is it a formality?
It's just saying that we, yeah, kind of like approve,
Because they can do
we'll
it.
support them
Yes.
to do it, but doesn't mean that we have to raise our taxes.
I think maybe they don't wanna put in the time and effort to it, if they think all the township boards are gonna say, don't vote for this, guys, cause, you know, it's all bad.
I mean, it'd be nice to see what they have to say, what they come up with.
Yeah,
I mean, and that gives us where we can vote on it next year if we want it or not.
Yeah.
I'm torn.
Yep.
On one hand, it kind of falls under free speech. You know, we should find out what the real details are, which I don't think there are real details yet. It's just kind of a broad outline. On the other hand, I think it's fundamentally a bad idea because it's only going to encourage weaker budgeting. You know, yeah, we'll just sweep it all under this and draw from it when we need to, as opposed to really, you know, figuring out what an annual budget should be.
Right.
So,
Yeah, and the only thing I can say in their defense is that there are a lot of times where their hands are tied, like, I mean, they didn't wanna put it out there, but there was an organization, which is the Maples, that, you know, every tax dollar they get goes in their savings account, cause they're pretty much fully funded by insurance companies.
yeah.
To where if we could take that money and apply it to the jail or police department, be helpful, so.
As I say, I'm torn.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that, if I can, the committee needs to clarify, like, this is too,
Mm-hmm.
nobody gets what this even is. I
Right.
mean, it's,
I think that's why they want to form
That's
the
why they wanna
committee,
form a committee.
so they can give us more information, which,
and that's the thing, if they would've given us information that we could understand a little better, then it would be like, yeah,
We have
that
to-
sounds like a good
We have to
idea.
form the
Did
committee
you watch
before we know what
I
it's
don't
doing.
know, I thought Katie put on a really good
Yeah.
presentation, I don't know if you watched it or not, but,
No.
yeah, there's a link to it on our website.
Yeah.
I think she did a great job of explaining it.
It's not the same thing.
she,
I mean, it has some of those
It has
stats
some
in
of
it for
that.
sure, but
Yeah, I mean, those were the slides that were up
Is
while
the video?
they were talking.
I believe
Yeah, it's on.
that whole meeting is.
Yeah.
And there's a link to it on the county website.
The paperwork that they put out there was just basic information about the taxation and didn't really talk a whole lot about the headley and the issues that are hitting all the townships and counties, of reduction. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff in there, but, you know, as you say, Katie,
Right,
you
and we're-
explained it really well.
And we're one of only, I think there might be two now, counties in the whole state that doesn't have the ability to reset the headley tax amount.
It'd be nice to be like, okay, here's the problem, here's what we want.
The problem
Right.
Three sentences,
And that's what they will offer
once they do.
once they do have a committee come, cause
The problem is there's
when
not
they know
enough
they're
money
gonna
to
put it-
run everything, but there's different funds that have plenty of money in them because they're independent millages. And we want to be able to, I know when I look at my tax bill, you know, there's millage for school resource, there's millage for animal control, there's millage for EMS, there's millage for the, I mean, I don't know, the numbers are in there, I don't remember offhand, but there's like 15 different ones.
Yeah.
And so there might be, you know, the sheriff's department might need 6 new vehicles this year, and there's not enough money to do it, but animal control might, their fund might have excess funds in it this year, but we can't touch that legally because of all the different millages.
So you can't do what they do, like budget adjustments, like you
No,
can't do
you
Right.
that.
Well, we can do some from the general fund, but there's, but with all the
Everything that
different
falls under a
millages we
special
have,
Millage, you can't, like, I
touch
can't
it.
take Dayton's money and spend it on township things.
We can't spend road improvement money on certain, you know,
On
like
the
the
park
laptops
or
or anything like
whatever.
that, no, we have to spend it on that only.
It's dedicated.
You guys have what, 12 or?
Yeah,
I think it's like 12 separate special millages.
We should put that, we could watch it on those packets. I didn't realize it was recorded even,
All their meetings are on YouTube.
I didn't know about the meeting.
yeah, I probably know the information of when it was and everything, when we had it.
I thought there was an email you said that.
There was an email too, but he also came to the board meeting.
I wrote it down, I just never watched it.
So just
It's
to,
very enthralling. At the edge of your
just to
seat.
clarify, what we're voting on tonight is whether or not they should have a meeting to go into this more detail about it.
To put together if we want to support them putting together a committee to look into it.
Yeah, that's what we're voting, that's what
Yeah, this is just so, you're not, you know, it's basically so, we want to know what the townships feel before we start working on putting a committee together. To say, because ultimately this, I mean, it isn't the county board that says this is what the millage rate should be. It's this committee that sits and meets, and then they come back with what they feel it should be.
Right.
And we're just looking to see how the townships feel about putting the committee together. I mean, ultimately, if everybody says, yes, we want this committee and it goes on, I mean, everybody's gonna vote for it anyway, right? Every taxpayer will have a say in a vote for it. So this is just the first step to put a committee together to see if we need it and how much we need.
So those other counties in the state, when they get their tax bills, does it just say county tax and the total number?
I mean, it's
Like, I
different,
kinda like having it.
it's different for each, I mean, every county has different line items on their tax bill, what it is. And some of them have millages, but we just, I mean, we have a ton.
Okay.
But you wouldn't see that anymore if they combined it, right?
Right, I mean,
Well,
we
we
still
would-
see the county budget, I mean.
Right.
Plus,
but you
they
wouldn't see it
still
on
would
the
get
tax
rid of
bill.
all the millages.
Right, yeah, there's some that are
see,
mandated that we have to
yeah.
have.
Like the ones that are
You'd
low.
see the schools still,
But
'cause
like-
they're not.
Yeah.
You'd see the road and our fire department ones.
So say the county gets, say, 2 mills, right? Every year it drops a little bit. So next year it's 1.9962. Then the next year it's 1.994. So every year this has gone down for the last 35 years. So they're getting less money technically. I mean, your house goes up, but they're not getting as much money because this Headley rollback's never been reset back to where they started 30-some years ago.
They started at a 5.29 and now they're down to a 3.33. So
So almost 2 mills.
yeah,
They've gone down over 30 years.
Right, but you got lots and lots of new homes over 30 years and lots of increases in values, so.
You know, it's a new government.
I know.
mandate, lots of new
But it would've
government
been-
mandates that are.
Right.
it would have been 3.2 million that they would have collected more had they been able to reset earlier.
Why didn't they try to reset earlier? They couldn't?
It's a super, super hard and tedious process, and we've been talking about it almost since I've been on the board. And there's been some past commissioners that were at this meeting that said they were talking about it 20 years ago. And nobody's jumped up and grabbed it.
A lot of it is nobody wants to put a tax hike on during their reelection.
That's true. That's true.
So,
Well, on the good hand, most people don't show up to vote and then they just complain afterwards, so.
all right, well, I'll just go ahead and make a resolution that we, or not, make a motion that we sign the resolution supporting a Benzie County Headley Reset Election Committee.
I'll second. Now we can talk about
Yeah, now we can talk about it.
And the main thing is, once they get all their information together, it's still up to all of us to vote whether or not we wanna go along with what they say.
And they're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
wanna
not
come
a
out and
done
talk to
deal.
everybody, say, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's when we're gonna get full clarification of what they wanna do, is when they're trying to convince everybody to vote for it, 'cause
So they'll come back to us to vote to approve what their recommendation is before it goes to the people? Is that what you're saying?
no.
No, this
You're saying
committee makes a
gonna-
recommendation of what the tax rate would be, and then
And
it
then
would
there'll
go,
be
and
that
then it would go
bond.
on the ballot.
But the county's gonna want
Right, right,
in
I
the
just wanna
past,
make sure.
so
that
they will
you
come around
understand,
and try
right.
to educate everybody on what's going on.
Then you can form a committee to figure out how to word it just right.
it. That's the attorney.
Do all of the, how many townships have to approve this so the committee's formed?
None,
None?
no, we could just do it,
Oh, okay, so you're,
but we don't wanna do that.
so this is just a straw vote in a sense?
We wanna make sure there's buy-in from the community, we don't wanna just make that decision.
Is that gonna be decided on at tomorrow's meeting?
No, because I don't believe so.
I didn't see it on the
Brower,
Yes?
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski,
And yes,
Worth, yes, Davis.
Yes.
so if it doesn't pass, this goes to, once you pick a number and it goes to the ballot, and if it doesn't pass, and we are still at the millage rates previous, or?
Well, it'll
Yeah,
continue to roll
nothing
And
down.
then you'll try again the next year.
More than likely.
Until it goes through.
I don't think we'll do what the school did and try 5 times, but
Okay, it took 3, right?
I don't know.
And pretty much took 3.
Four.
And then a trickery of the moving of the words on the last one, something like that.
Yeah. All right, planning commission plan, we already discussed that.
Yeah, that,
Well, I'd like to have it in the record what we allowed to spend. Cause you told me, but I don't think it was in.
I don't think it matters what they spend. If they spend $33,000, if that's what you choose, what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I just told you that whatever you guys spend, I'll put it in your budget,
Yeah.
but,
Oh,
Because-
So we can.
because you're not paying for it this year, so it'll be in the next budget,
Yeah.
so. I,
Yeah, for their study session.
Right,
they
right.
can
probably put it in the minute box, probably get
okay.
you a copy of it too, the budget worksheet.
I just didn't wanna be like, yeah, let's hire this person for 50 and then you guys go, oh, you can't spend that much. You know, not that you would.
I mean, I don't think with, was
Even
Never
with all
request.
the extras.
I don't think
that's
last
what
year.
it, we'd have meetings every week to try to get 50 grand, so.
Yeah.
Alright,
And security cameras. we addressed
security
that
cameras,
too.
already addressed that. Alright,
You're just checking into the prices of the security cameras?
yeah, I wanna get a dedicated one for the, drop box, so that we don't have to move the parking lot ones, and then we're putting one in our office. PC for recording secretary laptop, planning commission. I'll let you
No, let Mary,
Or
this
Mary.
was them, this is, Jim brought that up, I didn't.
Well, the only thing I got used, we thought it would be easier for our recording secretary if she, or he had something to write on, that would be
Yeah,
easier.
it'd be passed on from
Yeah.
person to person.
So you're gonna try to type it all up as you're talking?
Oh, I don't know,
I don't know.
I've never done that, but I don't have a laptop right now because
This was
I
something,
have a cat.
this was something that Jim brought up to
Yeah.
the planning commission, saying that he thought it would make it easier for the recording secretary. Jim Miller.
But if the
You mean Jim
Clerk.
Weller?
gets a,
What?
We need Jim
Jim.
Weller,
No,
not
that's
Jim
can't,
Clark.
I said Jim Miller.
because that
She said Weller.
computer
Oh,
wouldn't be
second
able
time I
to
think she
move
said
to
Clark.
the next recording center.
So you would have 2 new laptops?
I wouldn't. The planning commission, the recording secretary would have a laptop.
Who's the planning commission recording secretary? That was you.
it's real.
It is, but
It is right now.
that has nothing to do with the clerk laptop. Because no way would I want the planning commission laptop to be, get into our stuff.
Oh, so you just wanted to type up minutes?
It's only for that purpose, yeah, yeah. Is what, you know.
How's
This
it
was their
even
discussion,
for-
it wasn't mine, I just wrote down what they said. So, it.
I'm just, like, I can't,
Those two,
yeah.
I don't know, I use my own personal to create like a Word doc, but if our recording secretary doesn't have a, I mean, we pay him $80, I can't ask him to go buy himself a laptop, but, you know.
But what about the other committees? I mean, like parks, or if you get the event committee back going, is their secretary gonna want one too?
We don't have one.
I never asked for this
Well, we need
laptop.
No,
Ours is
no,
the
no, I'm
secretary,
just,
yeah.
no, exactly, but I'm just, you know, what is the board gonna do for all the other committees out there?
Well, it's
The fire
planning board or is it
association.
planning commission, right?
You know, the fire association, you know, who does their minutes?
Well, that's a question, if the planning commission pays for it, is it then the planning
Yes, it
commission?
is.
Yeah,
It
it would
is.
come out of.
It's on
budget.
those committees if
You
they
guys
want
already
it.
voted on it?
No,
You guys have to vote on it before it comes here?
No,
no, it's just a recommendation from our zoning
Okay,
administrator.
and then Mary brings it to the board and we talk about it there.
So I don't know.
I guess my only thought is I don't know that you would wanna have 2 laptops. I don't know if there's a reason to have that expense. So if you have one and you don't, I mean, it seems to me it would be just as well to get board approval that you use it to type up a Word document for the zoning, right, and have 1 laptop.
So yeah, because that would need to be board approved.
Right,
This is
so
true,
the board
yes.
approved for you to type up Word documents for a township committee. So you
Right.
use a laptop and
But-
then only buy 1 laptop. I mean,
Yeah.
that just makes more sense to me.
So I'm not sure if this would be the same laptop that they would recommend
Well, it
for
says that there
us.
with Office with it, so with Office, that would give you the capability of using Microsoft
Right.
Word.
Right, and Office is $259 to add to laptops.
Well, it's still cheaper than buying a second laptop.
Yeah.
And then you're not trying to balance too, oh, I grabbed the wrong laptop,
I'd
right?
be comfortable with that, as long as you could use her clerk laptop, have a special thing, because she's
Well-
gonna have access to her email, right?
Right, so have it as the clerk,
We could
so-
easily just wait until we talk to Jordan and see, cause,
See what he would recommend for Therese and I,
right,
and
and then you can still just do minutes on here, plus with that, we probably just go to Office 365 and it would just cover
Same thing.
everything as opposed to,
Can you log in as different users?
Yes,
I-
you
Yeah.
can set it up
You
to
can.
log in as a different user.
And just
Yeah.
have it logged in different users and the system itself will keep a firewall between
Yeah.
the accounts.
And we don't really, so,
It's a good idea.
yeah. We'll just table this and then discuss it after we make a decision on the other laptops.
So if we table it, we have to bring it back next month. Or at a certain date, remember? When you table, you gotta have a date for bringing it back. So. So maybe,
Technically, when you table it, I thought it had to be by the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
it depends,
You can ask it, yeah.
it depends. You have to specify a time to table it or you're, yeah, I got the. Because it's to get more information.
Right.
So,
we could table it until February, seeing how December and January are kind of crazy. Time-wise for people, I think.
Well, if he's coming tomorrow.
well,
we can
Troy's
get all
supposed to
that.
come tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, it is?
yeah, I can have all the answers tomorrow if you want to have a special meeting. Didn't think so.
Or just wait until the January meeting.
Yeah, we'll table it till January.
And then by then you might say, the board already approved her to use it, the other one,
Right.
yeah. So it's a dead motion.
So he gets to work, just because right now it's when I get in the emails.
Yeah, and we'd have to see when they would get it ordered, so. I mean,
I know.
something we could, but the only thing is we don't have the cost.
And we could order you this one, but I don't know that that's gonna be.
I know, it's fine, it's fine.
Cause I understand where you're coming from on that.
Right, because if
Yeah.
we approve it in January and then we have to wait and order them and all that, then
Plus getting the VPN and everything set up.
that's, I mean, it is what it is.
And you say up to so much?
Yeah, exactly, up to a certain dollar.
Well, we could do up to
$1,500
so much,
bucks.
but people may be interested in, I mean, are you gonna trust us that we're gonna make sure it's secure? That kind of thing.
I am.
Well,
I work with
Jordan sets that up, I don't. If it's not secure, it's going on him.
But you also said that you have to add the Microsoft
Yeah,
Office, and that was $200.
$259.
You could just say $1,000 a piece, which is really not a bad price for that.
Depending on the memory, she's
Right.
gonna, the treasurer would need more of that bigger
I don't-
stuff than I would.
I don't really remember because most of the time we actually start on a server.
Server on the servers. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so,
Good point.
Just needs to have enough memory, so it goes fast enough to keep connected.
Yeah, that's the, yeah.
What?
what's the estimated price of the VPN monthly?
The
160?
VPN that I pay, that the fire department pays for our CAD connection, roughly 200
a month.
a year.
A year.
Okay.
But that's like their maintenance and stuff like that. I think it's just a one-time purchase.
And you
I'm
said
not for sure on that. I know that I pay $200 a year,
And
but that's
each
kind of maintenance and
a
everything
laptop
too.
would have to have its own,
Correct.
so it would be like around $400.
It may be
I
less.
mean,
It just all,
just-
I don't
just-
know.
Well,
To ballpark it
you
there.
guys wanna make a motion for the laptops so that we can get those ordered? And then I can get all the other information?
Is that coming out of the committee budget or the township budget?
That would come out of the township budget, cause it would be the laptops for these two.
Okay.
And then we approve a laptop, then we can approve for her to do, planning committee minutes on that laptop.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve a laptop for both the clerk and the treasurer for estimated cost of $569 plus the Microsoft Office package for approximately $259, but no more than $1,000 per laptop. Did I say that right? Up to 1,000, yeah, no more than $1,000
So you said for $569 plus
for an estimated
Estimated.
$569 plus
Plus
Microsoft
Microsoft.
Office package.
up to,
Estimated cost is
Up to
$250,000.
$1,000.
up to $1,000
The way that it's written on the
each,
quote.
Oh,
because there's,
Each.
for bigger.
I mean, it says open box special, my guess would be he's only got one of these.
Right.
Yeah, but normally, if you're going and you're buying more than one, he'll work you some kind of a deal.
Let's do this
Sometimes
motion,
it's
we don't have a second on this motion.
A lot of times it's-
I'll second.
Okay. Now we can
Okay.
banter back.
Alright.
We
You
got
have
a price
$1,000
from
budget.
him, well, we got a price from him for Tim, wasn't it 329 or 369?
It was somewhere.
It was somewhere right around there, so I'm guessing that he, he has options,
Yeah.
Most.
and he'll know what will work.
He can order another one of
Right.
those, but at the office, that's what they had.
Okay.
Hold it until we had our meeting.
Are you getting your carrying case and your antivirus too, and the warranty?
I don't plan on taking mine outside of my home, so, just so I can answer things there, so, and if I buy, I can buy my own carrying case if I do choose to.
Warranty, yes, but
Warranty,
I would think.
Most warranties
Well, that,
are
I mean.
money makers for the warranty company. If they're gonna break, they're gonna break within the first 30 days, and just about everything has a year or more warranty on it now. I don't,
Yeah,
And even if you were to add on the warranty, it's $100, you'd still be under the 1,000.
Yeah.
we don't really need the antivirus, because that's protected with the VPN.
okay.
Read back the motion and then roll call it.
So a laptop for both clerk and the treasurer for the $569 plus the Microsoft Office, up to $1,000 each. Sufficient? Okay. All right. Brower,
yes,
Miller,
Yes.
Zelinski, yes. Worth, yes. Davis?
Yes.
motion carries.
We need to make a motion for him to have the VPN, to do that for them.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get the quotes on that.
Okay.
'Cause I don't even know what the setup of it at or anything, so. Alright, I have it as a land trust committee, but right now it's just kind of a information gathering on what we wanna do with the land the township owns. Obviously, we wanna put a fire hall and new offices and eventually like a community center and stuff like that over on the 30 acres, but I don't think any of that would even exceed 5. So, plus we also have another spot of land, is it Stanley?
Stanley Road.
Stanley Road,
I think we can just get rid of that.
you know, residential land.
It's residential.
How do we get residential of Stanley Road? I don't remember.
They bought it way before me.
Bought it or it came back as tax?
It is a tax, through tax sale.
Okay,
Something through,
yeah,
I don't know.
okay.
Maybe we can get a grant to buy it off us for habitat or something. But just to gather information on different ideas, whether we wanted to turn it into open space or workforce housing or a water park or whatever. But,
On Stanley Road?
I don't know,
Water
just
park?
whatever we wanna do with it, cause as of right now,
It's not.
in less than a year from now, the state can tell us we have to turn it into a solar farm. Because we've lost that right to say no.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less, of an eyesore if they take some land from a township than if they take land from a citizen. So I think they would probably eyeball that piece of land if we don't have something.
That's why they're
Planned.
selling off more state land. They're selling off more state land right now. Why would they take it?
Because they
As
can.
they can.
Well, that wasn't the way I read it, but
Could you temporarily put it into like a nature preserve for the monarch butterflies? Throw a bunch of seeds out there and just let it go?
We could try. I mean, that's why I wanna get
think
a
that's-
group together to
Why one-
look into things and
Yeah.
see what plans are out
usually
there.
when you do a
Where is
land
this one?
conservancy,
Uh,
you have to
Oh,
sign it.
the
Lake, yeah, Lake Andrews, yeah.
Stanley Road, there's a piece of land.
Oh, and then we
on
have,
Stanley.
what is it, like 4 acres on Stanley Road or something?
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's just a small residential lot that for
Oh,
some
I
reason the
thought-
township owns.
I thought you were gonna reserve that for the new government center.
Well, this,
That
yeah,
is right
but
there.
That's
we
the
don't,
30 acres.
we don't need
on the
30
corner.
acres for that.
Okay.
So we don't wanna have a new government center and a
Oh.
solar farm with windmills behind it.
Fire department, are you still talking about a new fire department?
Yeah.
You say government center,
Government center.
and you only need 5 acres for that, you think?
I think
No,
Not even?
not even.
Because this is just under 5 acres.
It's about 5 acres, so why do we wanna do a new township hall, a new fire department?
Oh, that's just in the future. That's
How far in the future, 100 years?
no.
So what are you thinking with this committee? How, do you want,
Uh,
what are you looking at?
right now,
from
I
us?
put it, I just want approval to put together the committee so they can start gathering information.
Does information need to include ideas?
Ideas,
And that's what you're
yeah.
looking for people to,
Yep, it's like, okay, but like he said with the nature preserve, what would we have to do to be able to make a nature preserve?
So do
a lot
you
of
want,
hard work.
And then can you take it out?
Right.
Once you decide to do something with it.
so, do you want it to be called the Land Trust Committee?
I don't know. It's
I mean, well,
Land development? Or
Land committee,
land preservation,
Committee.
yeah.
Land
something.
committee's fine.
Land
Just a land committee.
Yeah, well, not trust.
No, because that implies,
Oh,
so,
are they gonna do just the land, or are they gonna make recommendations for like this building as well?
They could, and they
they
could
can do
also,
whatever they want now.
Right, so
Sounds like a subcommittee of the planning commission.
yeah, we need to put it together and then kind of come up with bylaws and figure out what their main scope is gonna be. But just something that, even if it's, you know, with construction things, helping me get quotes together and stuff like that, or other committees if,
So it's an advisory committee?
yeah.
Is the planning commission looking at anything even close to this?
Not right now.
So that other land, how many acres on it? The Stanley Road or whatever,
It's a couple acres, I don't
couple acres.
remember.
Have we ever heard anything back from that architecture firm or whatever about the fire department?
No.
Did we pay him that big gob of money?
No, we didn't pay them anything.
Maybe we should
We
just-
were waiting to hear back from
Yeah,
them.
that's why I haven't heard from them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They
Well-
didn't ask for any money.
yeah, they said they were gonna set up a meeting with me in Dayton and never called back and now they no longer have my vote, so
So,
How about a citizens advisory?
that would work.
I mean, what,
I mean,
to be building,
Wait,
to be land?
that's
Yeah.
what I want to call
Is that you volunteering?
oh, he's already here.
it. We'll call it the Evan Committee?
No, the advisor, I'd say I would volunteer to do that.
So,
if we, just question, if we're creating this new little board, because we were talking about this a little bit the other day, does a board member have to be on this board?
I was going to be on it.
Okay.
It's just something that,
Just wondered if we had to be on there, okay.
you know, this way it can have different people looking into different things and just finding
That's
out.
good, because it does coincide with us rewriting the master plan. It
Mhm.
would be a good idea to get a feel for what
Okay,
people
so
want for the.
so if,
Supervisor Advisory Commission, is that word? Advisory Commission?
let's just call it a land committee, because
Okay.
you're gonna be doing just the land, so I make a motion that,
For now, yeah.
I make a motion that we, allow the supervisor to form a land committee.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Now where's the discussion? We already had it.
We already had our discussion.
We're doing this
I think we
backwards.
let the committee, once we form the people, they get to pick their own name, they get to vote and make.
Perfect.
We will, so
Alright, so,
let's,
Jim Clark,
this is a motion we have on the table, we need to approve it first.
we have to discuss it first.
You want to discuss it first.
Does anybody wanna know who I wanna put
But
on the
we-
committee first?
But then we have to make another motion to approve those people on the committee, remember? Do you wanna discuss it, then we can.
That's fine.
It's an A or an A, isn't it?
Is it?
Is it gonna cost money?
Yeah, I call the question.
It's not gonna cost money.
Not to form the committee, I guess not, you're right. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Now,
Now, let's talk about who we're put on there.
I make a motion that we put Jim Clark, Mary Dew, Ben Zeitz, and Ryan Stern.
say those again, I got the first two, but not the last two.
Ben Zeitz,
Presser.
Who is that?
He's the commissioner's
Oh.
husband. He was the candidate for the.
Presser.
And who's
Evan
that?
were second.
Ryan
Ryan
Percy.
Stern.
Yeah.
So you want
That's
Jim,
good
Mary,
enough meetings
Ben,
now.
Ryan,
Yeah.
on the land.
Okay.
Well, I'll second that.
And Evan or no?
Then we can
Yeah,
argue
Evan's
about
on
it.
Oh, Evan, you said no.
Came back on.
He said he'd do the public advisory, he didn't say anything.
Well, same thing. I
Same
want-
thing. We don't have a cool name yet. Alright.
Well, it sounds good.
Maybe in a year I'll be begging you.
We can always add them.
Mary Dew's there.
Oh, yeah, Mary Dew. I don't think that's her name now.
What,
Good. Good enough.
put Peggy, she doesn't have anything to do this winter. That's what she said anyway,
No.
so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Sorry, I made that complicated. Not sure I did it. Transfer budgeted funds.
That's what you wanted, you told me to write down. Things, right?
Oh, yeah. So,
We usually do that, next month.
I know, but I'm trying to start the budget early,
You want it,
so,
you're,
yeah, rent's due.
It's in the line item, take it
I know,
over.
but we just
We
haven't
have to
transferred
approve
it.
it first.
There's that, money that we
You
put
already
in the park
approved it
every
in the
year.
budget.
Huh?
You already approved it in the budget, you can
Right.
take it whenever, you always guys wait until the
But,
end of the
yeah, we just have to approve to
year.
transfer it now, so. Anything that was set to be transferred in the
Fire
budget.
department,
That looks bad, cause now I spent a lot of money this month.
So you're transferring the fire department.
The fire department,
Rent into the general budget.
and then, money for the park will go to the parks, and whatever.
fire department, parks. Those are only two, no, there's a list of 4 of them on there. Bye Peggy.
The cemetery, is that one? No, you said that.
But we have, yeah, there's 4 of them on that paper. No, it's on the revenue sheet.
We don't have it in the packet?
No, it's,
Part of the budget that they have already approved, but you don't have to.
You have to approve to transfer it.
well, they're called it's called budgeted use of funds, is what it's called. And it's on it's on the budget that we prepared for this fiscal year, so. I thought you would have them.
You don't have a line item in your general fund budget for incoming money for my rent. You don't have
No,
that.
no,
No,
that's
no,
not
no,
what they're
it's-
talking about. He's talking about transferring money for like into the parks. Transferring
That is on the,
money from the general fund into things, yeah, that needs an approval.
it's called
That's
budgeted.
already approved with the budget, cause it's on the budget saying,
No, but, transferring.
transferring money. You don't need another,
No, but, no, 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 it's, 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 no, no, no
another motion to transfer money that you've already approved.
But we have to approve your rent to be moved over, cause that's,
No, because it's already approved that I pay you
Yeah, we
guys
don't
$6,000
we do that every
rent.
year.
Mm-mm.
No, but if you were making adjustments because you're adding more money to a
Well, I know,
budget
no, but
item,
I go through and find
When you
out what
start
has to be added to the agendas so that Dave knows what needs to be added, and fire department rent is always in there for approval to be moved. So,
I think you started doing that because it was always getting used and not getting paid.
well, if you need to use it,
I don't need to use it.
you just tell us what you need, Dave. Jim's got a magnifying lens here.
It's scanned in, so it won't search.
Okay, we can bring this back
Okay.
next month.
So we're
that
tabling this until next month?
we will bring this back next month.
Okay.
But on that same note, anybody that's a department head, put your budget worksheets in your mailbox. I'll get you one, probably just email it to you tomorrow, but I gave it to Jan, but so that you can see what you have for planning also. Next is event committee. We suspended that 2 months ago. Me and Rose and a couple other members have looked through the bylaws and just need to reinstate them so they can start meeting again.
Did we look at the bylaws?
What's that?
Did we get to see the bylaws?
They're not done yet. They still have to
Oh,
approve and bring it back. It is just,
that makes sense.
I just discussed with them, like,
is suggested.
suggestions
Oh.
of, but
Okay.
so we just need to vote to reinstate the event committee. And then they're gonna redo their bylaws and bring them back, and then we'll approve.
January, or when are we going to get those?
I don't know.
Well, they gotta have time to meet and approve them themselves. They have to approve them first, then before they come to you.
But you already have some bylaws, don't you?
Right.
But they've been suggested to make some changes, which
Got it.
so now the event committee has to vote and make their own recommendations.
Then we bring it, then they bring it to the board.
Okay.
Well, I make a motion that we reinstate the event committee,
Effective.
Immediately.
effective now.
I'll second it.
In favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And then number 5 was ad hoc
Ad
committee
hoc
for the
committee.
website. So we have had multiple requests about looking at updating our website, or, we did listen to a sales pitch from a company. Me and Rose listened to it one day, Teresa and Jim listened to it another day, and just kind of deciding that it might be easier just to kind of reach out to the community, see what they want to see on a website, and have them bring back a recommendation as opposed to us trying to sit through sales pitches, you know, in a group no more than 2 people, so we don't have a online quorum. So Jim is going to be putting together an ad hoc committee to,
Which Jim?
look at websites. Right?
Sure. We can come back with a recommendation of what should be in it and who we should be.
What do you wanna see on it, yeah. What you wanna see on it. And ease of use.
Absolutely. There are a lot of
There's a lot of improvements that can be done. one, I think,
Mhm.
but there's, so.
Who's the host of your firm? Who created your firm?
LIA, LIA, information.
Access management companies, they're called. But the thing is like when I went in for training with them, I mean, there's, like, they said to me that it, you know, at any time, if we have ideas of things we really want to change, if we let them know, they'll help us change them.
Mhm.
So one, we should also look at that option, because we just had our whole website redone in 2020, according to what I looked at. We just redid it. And we paid a lot of money for it, not even a few years before that.
There's a lot going on in township websites. There are a couple companies that are targeting that as a marketplace. LIA, good company, is township websites their main focus? No. Do they do a good job? I think so. You know, there are probably a lot of things we could do to improve our current system with them. But there are a number of companies that have come on the marketplace in the last few years that are specifically designing systems to be websites for, you know, small towns, cities, you know, townships and so forth. And I think, you know, certainly they're worth looking at. MTA has already sent me some information about, you know, what, there are things that should be on the township website and there are things that shouldn't be, from their perspective. There's certainly a lot of other townships in Michigan that have systems, and so we have, through the MTA, we have access to, you know, looking at them. You know, they're probably going to wind up looking very similar, you know, different pictures, but, you know, it's the same core information that needs to get out there. But I just think there are a number of people in the community that I think have ideas of what they would like to see, and certainly ease of use is a major factor. But I think there's a lot can be done, and I think a lot can be done on the very inexpensive. So, in putting this together, I know we used to send out newsletters. Did that fall under the event committee?
The monthly electronic one was through the event committee.
Because
the paper one was just done.
How many subscribers do we have to the electronic?
182.
I'm sorry?
182.
182?
But that is not even a drop in the bucket compared to the township residents. Something should have, I feel, gone on with our taxes.
Well,
you know.
I think between that and, you know, I don't know, Facebook, you know, just get the word out that, you know.
There's a lot of people not on Facebook or email.
Well,
snail mails.
It's not going to be all inclusive of everybody, but, you know, if we can get a half dozen to a dozen people interested for, and I don't think this is going to take, you know, multiple months or multiple meetings. You just need to gather, you know, what it is you want to see on a website, and, you know, what information you want to have easily accessible. And if I think, you know, the rest of this month is taken up with holidays.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, put something together, meet a couple times in January, and, you know, hopefully by the February meeting we'll have a recommendation.
So this website that we did look at, it does have the capability to just email right from there and for people to log in there and sign, you know, I mean, I put a page on our website so people could sign up for our newsletter. But this has one where we're actually gathering and saving them right in our system. Which I don't know if we have the capability of, but I do like that.
There was a lot on there that was much more user-friendly.
Well, it's also built from the ground up to be a township website.
Right.
You know, it's built on a database so that you enter one piece of information, like somebody's phone number, that shows up here, here, and here. Oh, I got the digit wrong. You change it in one place and it's changed everywhere else. You know, so structurally, there are a lot of things that go on websites that you don't see. And you know, I'm not endorsing them. You know, certainly they look good and worth a second look. But there are a lot of things that I I think exist out there that our current system doesn't have. And whether or not they have plans for it, don't know, so it's an investigation.
Make a motion to
Yeah.
create this.
I'll make a motion to create an ad hoc website committee to gather information and return a recommendation to the board. And you have to approve the committee before you can put anybody on.
We
so-
gotta approve it, you have to have something before you can put somebody on it. I'll second that, how's that?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright,
So,
And then I think a $40,000 budget.
that should be reasonable.
To pay the president, right?
So should we just appoint Jim as a member and let him go from there with
Yeah.
finding,
Sure, yeah, any and all are welcome.
and then we can go from there about.
Yep.
Cause the
Yeah.
point of approving members to committees is to cover our butts with insurance. That's the whole point of why we have to do that. It's insurance, it's required.
So there's a little announcement about Jim, committees.
Yeah.
He'll bring it back and
It will
explain.
be, it will be certain, how will it be announced? Website?
Well, we have this,
email, Facebook,
Okay.
Yeah.
Spread the word.
we'll put it on the sign.
There you
we'll
go.
put on some,
Put it on the sign.
got that new cool sign out there that actually works.
How about Record Patriot? No, it's just-
That can be done as well,
No.
that it can be, so,
Make a motion that we appoint Jim in charge of the website committee.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any other business to come before the board? Reopen public comment at 7:47.
Laura Turmel, Ewens Road. I just wanted to revisit the possibility of having these either live or recorded. So I could be watching this at home in my pajamas.
That's something else I'm gonna ask George about is
Yeah,
how to set this up, because, that computer in there might do it. No.
whether it's on a YouTube channel or if it would be included in the new website, part of the
It's
new
slow,
website.
I think you could record.
Computer's like 9 years old in there.
A lot of people, townships do put their meetings right on their website, or leave links to them, so.
Right now, I'm just
it would be
saying,
nice to have one.
we'd have to get a different computer.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have to get
yeah.
a different computer for this program.
yeah, but, okay.
Yeah, and that sign looks good. The words sometimes driving by, it's hard to read because they're kind of small, so I think you gotta focus on like fewer words and bigger letters. I think, that's what I've noticed, I'm driving by at 55. But that's just what I.
It'd be a problem. Now there's gonna be cops on the road 24/7.
I'm just seeing if you say you're looking for ad hoc website committee, nobody's gonna see that at 55 miles an hour. Going,
Wait till we're.
Free
in the
beer
line.
in a meeting time.
Yeah,
Just
Read here tomorrow.
I mean, I love that sign, and I do, if I make myself pay attention when I'm getting close, then I can, but if I just quick look,
What's that?
Well, they might cut some of those trees down over there right before we get to it, you know, that's on his property. So you'll be able to see it further away.
It does look nice though. So that's all.
I do have a question that, you know, the newsletters used to go out with the taxes. Are we, obviously it didn't happen this time. Are we not doing a paper newsletter at all anymore?
Public comment.
She just asked if the new laptops might be able to record meetings as well,
Oh,
because I'm so confused.
yeah.
Also, you had mentioned a few months ago about microphones. Any update on that? And then in the last meeting, there was proposals to do more trees cut at the cemeteries. Is that still on hold? That's my public comments.
You're still getting quotes on the trees, right?
That's what we're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's what you guys wanted.
Right. Yeah, just don't have the three quotes yet. Microphones are with everything else as far as the live stream and computer system. So. Any other public comment?
All right, close public comment, 7:51.
Motion to adjourn?